At the top of a remote mountain in China, rusted iron pipes stick out of the rocks, some running down to a salt lake in a place that's over 150,000 years old, with no sign of any civilization that could have put them there. Scattered across northern Laos are thousands of massive stone jars, each weighing up to 10 tons. How did they get there? Why were they made? And buried in rock that's over 3 billion years old in South Africa, perfectly grooved metallic spheres have been found, objects that seem manufactured but are older than any known intelligent life. These are ancient human discoveries scientists cannot explain. In northern Laos, thousands of massive stone jars are scattered across the landscape. Some are the size of a person, others even bigger, just sitting out in the open, spread across hillsides and valleys. Most were carved from solid rock and could have been there for at least 2,000 years, but nobody really knows why they were made in the first place. One theory is that they were part of ancient burial customs. Human remains and burial objects have been found near some of the jars, which kinda supports that idea. Still, it doesn't fully explain the scale of it all. Why go to that much effort to carve and move hundreds, maybe thousands of these things? And how did people with basic tools manage to haul stones that weigh over 10 tons without leaving any sign of how they did it? The layout doesn't make much sense either. Some jars are grouped close together, others sit completely alone, and a lot of sites haven't even been explored yet, mostly because the land is still dangerous from leftover bombs dropped during the Vietnam War. Until someone finds more evidence, the Plain of Jars remains a mystery. At the top of a mountain in western China, there's a cave with something strange sticking out of the walls. Old rust-colored tubes that look like metal pipes almost. They're also found running down toward a nearby saltwater lake. Thing is though, the area they're in is believed to be around 150,000 years old. That's way before any known civilization had the ability to build anything like this. Tests have shown the pipes are made of iron mixed with other materials, which has led to two main theories. Some scientists say they could be natural, maybe tree roots that turn to stone over time. Others aren't so sure. The pipes are smooth, round, and some are hollow. A few even branch out like a modern plumbing system that doesn't look random. There's never been a sign of people living near the site. No tools, no buildings, nothing that would explain who could have put them there. What do you think? Did these things form naturally, or were they built long before historians thought people were making things like this? In South Africa, deep inside ancient rock formations that are over 3 billion years old, miners started finding these weird little metallic spheres. Some are smooth, others have grooved lines running perfectly around the middle like they were etched with a machine. They're about the size of a golf ball and seem completely out of place for how old the rock is. Geologists say they're probably natural, maybe formed by volcanic activity or some kind of concretion process. That's when minerals and wet dirt or mud slowly gather around something like a shell or a leaf and harden over time, forming a solid lump or ball. But some of these spheres seem to be perfectly balanced, with an even density all the way through, and the lines etched into them look intentional, but they're stuck in rock that predates all known life, more complex than bacteria. There's also debate about what material they're made of. Some reports say a hard metal, others say they're just mineral deposits. That's why they're often thought of as out-of-place artifacts, something that shouldn't exist in the time or place it was found. In the remote highlands of western Bolivia, there's a massive set of perfectly straight lines etched into the ground. They stretch for hundreds of miles over hills, rivers, and valleys. They're called Sajama lines. Nobody knows who made them or how. The lines aren't carved especially deep, but they've lasted for centuries. And given how long they are, you'd think there would be bends or curves in them, but that's not the case. They seem too long and too precise to be random, but there's no sign of wheels or machinery having been involved. Some researchers think they may have had some sort of spiritual purpose, maybe used for connecting sacred places, but we don't have any written records or anything. That's just a theory. Off the coast of Taiwan, a fisherman pulled up something unexpected from the seabed, part of a human-like jawbone. They named it Pengu 1, and when scientists got a look at it, they realized it didn't match any known species of ancient human. The bone was thick, the teeth oversized, clearly built for chewing through pretty tough material. The jaw didn't look like it belonged to Homo sapiens, but it also didn't fully align with Neanderthals either. and it could have been as young as 10,000 years, meaning whatever this mystery species was, it might have been around far longer than anyone would have thought. Well, scientists ran protein analysis on the remains, and it seems that it most likely came from a male Denisovan. Denisovans were an early human species we still know very little about when compared to Neanderthals, for example. Another strange thing, Denisovan fossils have mostly been found in Siberia and Tibet. Taiwan is way outside where they were thought to have lived. So this strange jawbone raised a lot of questions. There's a lot we know about the evolution of the human species, but also quite a bit that's still a mystery.